Yeah. So I'm going to modify my presentation in a way. We're going to talk about what's new with Microfocus, because again, call me Joel. I'm the partner business manager, basically the one handling all partners in the Philippines. And one of the things that you, as our partner, and also for maybe there may be some end users in the audience right now, is for you to understand that Microfocus has already changed, and we have a lot of brands that we have already, evolved into a branding called cyber resilience. Okay, so cyber resilience is the new normal. It's not just having the standard things of thinking that security is usually an afterthought, meaning you put everything in and then you put security after. No, that's not how it works anymore. So right now, I'm going to talk about cyber resilience in the new normal, and we are going to talk about three things: protect, detect, and evolve. Okay, so I'll move forward. Okay, so I have just four agendas for you guys. So just a quick introduction of Microfocus and what's the new normal and its impact on cybersecurity, which I will discuss it in briefly because we are all experiencing it. Thirdly, what is our approach, Microfocus approach, to achieving cyber resilience? And then how Microfocus can support you and your customers with your cyber resilience journey. Okay, so Microfocus, we have more than 40,000 enterprise customers worldwide. We cover 98 of the Fortune 100 customers. We have more than 6,500 partners worldwide. And we are in 49 countries, 12,000 of us. In the Philippines, we are more or less around 150 to 200 employees, no, in the Philippines alone. And we're all doing it because we're enterprise software, right? So basically, we live remotely. So most of us are just doing it remotely. And a big chunk of our research and development, roughly 20% of our profits of revenue goes to research and development. And we have basically one of the largest number of patents, 2,700 technology patents copyrighted worldwide. Okay, so that's how big we are. And this is the thing that we need to tell you. Security is just one of our product groups. I'm talking about 6 product groups here, and security is just one of 6. So just to give you an overview of what those 6 are, right? So first is we do mainframe and COBOL. We still do that, and basically we have the market. Roughly 95% of the COBOL market in the world is basically Microfocus. Secondly, application delivery and management. A big chunk of the famous what they call the software testing tools in the market worldwide is Microfocus. So that's application delivery management. The third product group is IT operations management, server management, network management, data center management, cloud management. So that's just the third of our product groups. The other one is information management and governance. So it covers the management of information and governance of that particular information. That includes risk management, that includes archiving, that includes collaboration, that includes data protection. So that's where IMG is. The other product that we have is this one, security, which we are now branding as cyber resilience. And the 6th product line that we have is called vertical databasing, or Vertica, one of the most innovative databasing technology in the world today. So now I'll talk about security and purely security at this point. So I'll talk about what the reality is, and we all know this. Number 1, cloud. A lot of our customers and even us are now adopting cloud technology. The mere fact that we're using Zoom, right? We're using Zoom right now. Or maybe if you're in Microsoft, you're using Teams. Or Cisco, you're using WebEx. Using Office 365 for that matter, right? So we're already doing this remotely, and we're all adopting cloud technologies. And this is a reality that we are facing. And many of the solutions that we see now and maybe earlier are cloud-based technologies and cloud-based products and solutions. right? The other reality is that there is a big jump, a big rise in application development. Simple lang ang sagot diyan, no? Simple lang ang pruweba sa pagkita na malaki ang development, no, or ang paglaki ng space pagdating sa application development. You just look at your phones. You just look how many mobile applications you have on your phones. If you can still remember the time na walang smartphone and you were happy about it, imagine yourselves now with your phones and with so many apps on your phones. Imagine the growth. And that is where also our technology comes in, because we are very much involved in making sure that the development of these applications are, and that is the word, secure. Diba? Security. Kasi if you're a programmer, typically you just make programs and you don't think about security. But because there's so many things that's now available as an application, imagine the security concerns of developers, or not necessarily developers, but the ones operating the application once it goes live, right? So that's a second reality that we all are facing. The third one, and we are all doing it right now, the growth in remote work. So right now, yung mga may anak, walang pasok yung mga anak ninyo, right? But it doesn't mean they're not online. And that is true, because that's basically what's happening right now. And what we're doing right now is remote work. You're here, you're listening, and we're all just doing this remotely. Before, it would usually be in the conference centers of VST ECS, and you would come and we would be seeing each other face to face. And now I don't even see you, but I typically see Sir Mao. Okay, so that's the thing. The growth in remote work, and a big chunk of that issue is also insecurity. Okay, I'll show you later why. The fourth thing, and this is very, very clear, and it has happened, and there have been a few well documented and well, covered in media about cyber attacks. Okay, so there's a surge in cyber attacks. Why? Because everybody's basically online. So everybody's basically connected to the internet. So people who who are into this, right? It's ano ngayon ang tawag diyan, it's an open, okay? Lahat open, no? So basically, it's a smorgasbord for hackers, no? At this time, okay? Because of what's happening, because we're all accessing the internet and everybody's online. So these are the four realities. Now, these are the cybersecurities challenges that we need to address, right? So first, because the workplace is elastic, if you're a company, right, you have to make sure secure ba yung computer na ginagamit ng empleyado namin. Secure ba yung connection na ginagamit ng empleyado namin? Yung ginagawa ba niya enables them to practice the minimum required security protocols or processes required by the company. So yan, that's another problem, because that problem is brought about by having an elastic workplace. Right now, di ba, pag sinabing work from home, hindi mo na ma-separate yung work sa life mo, because we do this and there's a chicken or maybe a dog barking at your side, o yan yung tricycle sa kabilang side. Wala na. Hindi katulad dati. Iba kapag you're working in an office. But if you're working at home, unless you have a personal office, that's different. But for most of us, we don't have that. So that's the case. It's something that we need to look at, the challenge of an elastic workplace. Secondly, cloud threats. And this is very, 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 very common. Okay? Maingat tayo dito. Okay, and this is a concern by a lot of IT administrators, specifically those who are, putting their systems on cloud environments. Right. Fourthly, and this is what I was talking to you about, application vulnerabilities. Dami na ng applications eh. Hindi nyo ba napapansin every time you open your Android phone or your Apple, right? Every now and then, nag-update siya. So basically, the typical schedule is every 2 weeks yan, yung mga naka-install na applications sa phones ninyo or sa tablets ninyo, nag-update siya. Okay? Nag-update because of, possible application vulnerabilities, and developers needs to plug those vulnerabilities. Okay? So that's why you always update yung app sa phone. But it really depends, no, on how you use it or kung ilang apps meron sa phone mo. Kaya nga lumalakas ang consumption sa data. Sometimes you just have too many applications on your phone. Okay? Next, workforce limitations. Right now we are limited in a way, right? Kasi you can see me, I can't see you. The question there is, there are still limitations, no? Kahit na remote work, ang dami pa ring limitations, right? Number one, security. How can I make sure that the systems that my employees are using are properly used, no? Na yung possibility of security breaches or breaching the protocols are either minimized or prevented. So these are questions that we are looking at right now. These are the cybersecurity challenges that every company needs to address. So our approach, Microfocus, this is our approach. Okay? We adapt with intelligence. And this is one of the biggest differentiator namin sa ibang vendors out there. So we're looking at doing only three things, and just three things: protect, evolve, and detect. That's it. So protect. We try to make sure that we try to help our customers build a robust security posture, meaning we protect across your identities, across your applications, and across your data. So the idea is we include security as part and parcel, not an afterthought, not after, but while you're building it. While you're building, we're creating a more robust security posture. That's what protection is all about. It's like the example of pag nagpagawa ka ng bahay, let's say, bumili ka ng lote, ano ba unang mong gagawin? Papagawa kang bahay, uunahin mo muna yung pader at saka yung gate. Siyempre, lalagyan mo muna ng pader, di ba? Kasi kung nilagay mo na lahat doon, bumili ka ng simento, bumili ka ng bakal, pero wala namang nakaharang, bukas yan, wala na yan. So, just like when you build a house, you need to check the security perimeters first. You need to put the security first, right? So it's like security is part of the platform, not an afterthought, or not that it's after we build the other things. Okay, so that's what we mean by protecting or building a robust security posture. Secondly, the capability to evolve. One of the good things about Microfocus is what we're trying to do is to make sure all of our products, not just security products, but the other products in our product groups actually is underlined by automation, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. So sometimes you will encounter our products at yung nagpapademo kayo, sabihin, oy, ang laki naman ng hardware requirements ninyo, or bakit ganito ang requirement nyo? Kasi po, meron na kaming automation built in. You don't have to buy it separately. So it's already built into many of our products. So if your security product in your company or that the thing that you're offering already has automation and machine learning and AI, that makes it more intelligent, that makes it more adaptable. And because it is adaptable, it can evolve based on the security issues that you are encountering. So that's what evolve means. And lastly, detect. Hinahanap natin, and many security products are doing this, no? Is you can detect, but what we're trying to prevent is doing a lot of false positives. What's a false positive? Sasabihin niya na ng system na it's a breach, it's a security issue, when in fact it's not. Kasi that's the thing. It's a balance, no? So when you accelerate detection, usually mataas ang false positive. And that is what we're trying to do by using intelligence, automation, and machine learning, that we can detect, respond, and recover from advanced threats. So that's where detection, what we do is, because of automation, we can accelerate threat detection. So yung tatlo. So basically, many, if not all of our products are doing this, no? Protect, evolve, and detect. Okay, so let's look at it this way. Okay. So we talk about intelligent adaptation. So ito yung dinidiscuss ko kanina, no? This one, intelligent adaptation through automation and machine learning. So we have in many of our security products, this is what we cover. Number one, zero trust approach. You've heard of this. Basically, it's quite simple. Trust no one. No, hindi porket empleyado yan, pagkakatiwalaan yan. In other words, in the system, yeah, personally pagkakatiwalaan mo, pero in the system, using systems, right? You use a strong identity governance and authentication, regardless of who is accessing the system. That is a zero trust approach. Secondly, privacy by design. Being able to discover, classify, and protect data wherever the data comes in. A lot of us would think data is database. No, that is just structured data. What we're looking at here is not just structured data, but also unstructured data. So what's unstructured data? You open up your My Document or yung download file mo, wala naman sa database yan eh. So individual files yan. And it doesn't matter what format. But we want to make sure that whatever data is in the system, whether a PC or a server, the capability to be able to discover that data, classify that data, and protect that data is in the system. That is what privacy by design means. Okay. Thirdly, and this is where I really like it because I've seen this, I've been doing this for many years now, DevSecOps adoption. Maybe a lot of you here are, maybe some of you are programmers or developers, right? Or application developers. You are looking at DevOps, no? DevOps as a approach in project management, no? Wherein kahit na under development siya, you design the application in a seamless model along with it being in operation, DevOps. But what we are proposing and what we've been doing for many years now is DevSecOps. So we're running development, ops, but with security. So DevSecOps. So via discovering vulnerabilities early in the software development lifecycle. So habang ginagawa pa lang ng programmer, secure na siya. Hindi yung nagawa na yung application, saka palang malalaman kung may vulnerabilities. No. While it is being coded, it is being secured. That is what DevSecOps means. So we are, Micro Focus, we are one of those who are exposing that particular mindset in application development. And how do we do it? Number one, the foundation is advanced threat detection and response, which I've already talked about earlier, using multi-layer analysis and behavior analytics. Okay, so we'll go to the products themselves. Okay, so I was talking about detecting and responding to advanced threats. So ang kailangan, capability to do multi-layer analysis, right? Kaya ba ng produkto to detect real threats and automate to give effective response? Second, unsupervised machine learning. A lot of vendors would talk about machine learning, right? But it's usually an add-on. Sa amin, it's part of the product. Meaning, the machine learning is already happening. Pag in-install mo yung system, machine learning is already there. So it's unsupervised. So it basically adapts to how you're using the application or what the application is actually detecting. And from there, machine learning will do it unsupervised. Okay? Validation of threats based on observed behaviors and calculated risk using artificial intelligence. So yan yung unsupervised machine learning. And then ito na yon, no? Yung AI-enabled data analytics. So it's already built in. So alerting or even automatically encrypting data derived from results based on risk. So kung ano yung napapansin, no, nahalatang risk, no, ng system, the AI will help the customer or yourself to actually do the automation of task on what to do with that data. Yan. So anong product yan? Okay. So sorry, I forgot the other one, behavioral analytics. And this is because this is one of the latest products that we have. The capability to analyze based on user behavior. User behavior, hindi yung kung anong ginagawa ko ngayon, but the behavior of the user on the network or on the software that they're using. So kung paano ginagamit ang system, analytics can be run to analyze that behavior. Analyzing the runtime behavior of the code itself to identify the security vulnerabilities and areas of risk. So that's behavioral analytics. So This is where our product called ArcSight comes into play. So it's under security operations. So what ArcSight does is actually SIEM, SOAR, log management. It's modular. So you can have just log management, or you can have the full SIEM or the full SOAR requirements. So what ArcSight does is real-time detection, workflow automation, open source data ingestion, hunt investigation, and ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, user behavior analytics. And the good thing about it is, if you would understand, if you do a lot of analytics, ang laki ng hardware requirement. Diba? Napakalaki ng hardware requirement if you do hardware, what do you call this, analytics. Typically, you need a lot of servers, a lot of memory, a lot of CPU for that. So what we did, we made it SaaS. So it's a software as a service. So basically, you can have any technology na meron kayo for log management or maybe for log correlation, and you can simply push that data to our ArcSight Intelligence, user behavior analytics engine. And then from there, you can get that data out and analyze it using our product called ArcSight Intelligence. So we can work with any, what they call this, any basically log management system that you have if you want to put in, what they call this, user behavior analytics on it. And it's SaaS. So in other words, your customer doesn't need to invest on hardware anymore. Basically, yung logs naman kasi hawak na nila eh. You just need a way to be able to analyze those logs without putting in investments on hardware. That's one thing that we can do with ArcSight. If you have any questions, no worries. You can always raise it up to our, what do you call this, a product manager in BSTCS, Thel. I think Thel is here. So Thel Zapata. So if you have questions, make sure you just raise it up to her or to me later on. The other product that we're talking about is the one that we do for zero trust approach, meaning this is the way to manage identities. So we have an integrated platform for identity solutions, end-to-end, not just identity management, but identity governance, including access management, including multi-factor authentication, end-to-end modular. So in other words, you don't need to buy the whole stuff. You just need to buy it and implement it module by module. We include we also have robust governance capabilities on these identities. Okay, so we can have the audit report on the identities. For example, aling identities yung active pa sa system na matagal na pala nag-resign or matagal nang wala or hindi nagagamit or bakit itong identity na to, ganitong araw lang siya ma-access when in fact dapat ganitong araw siya nag-access. So things like that. We can generate those particular reports for you, specifically for compliance requirements. And the other one is advanced authentication. Okay, we use machine learning to monitor that data and adjust the authentication requirements of your employees or customers or contractors or students for that matter based on behaviors and calculated risk. So that's what advanced authentication means. So ano yung product? The product is NetIQ. NetIQ comes in, again, modular din siya. So multiple modules to do identity management, identity governance, synchronized identities, and then centralized role management. What I'm saying here is this one. You can have one identity vault for any user on your network. Kasi typically, this is what happens. Usually, may sariling user for the database, may sariling user for the network, may sariling user for the internet. For example, may sariling user for SAP, may sariling user using Active Directory. What we can do is create an identity vault so that this centralized identity vault becomes the source of all identities so that isa lang. So kung yung Juan de la Cruz na yan, isa lang yung Juan de la Cruz, kahit multiple systems yan, isa lang yung Juan de la Cruz na to. Kasi imagine in managing identities, pag wala kang identity management software, pag nag-resign yung tao, you have to run through the clearance of making sure this person's account is deactivated in every system na kung saan meron siya. But if you have identity management, let's say nag-resign yung tao or na-promote, let's say nag-resign, you can deactivate it by identity management and the system will deactivate everything else. So ganun kabilis. If na-promote yung tao, you simply put it in identity management and then change the profile and then the system will create the identity profile of that person kasi na-promote siya, di ba? So madadagdagan yung systems na pwede niya ma-access. Identity management na yung gagawa nun. So yung mga line of business managers, what they do quite simply is they just check email and they will simply say, okay, approve, and the system will do it for them. That's what identity lifecycle does. And from there, identity governance goes in. But we have products for multi-factor authentication. So what they call this? Biometric, cards, what do you call this? Single sign-on. What what do I do? Yung one-time password, for example. So I would like to show it to you, but I think I'm going to be running out of time, so I don't have time to do that. And I just want to show you the products that we have for identity management. If you want a demo for this, just gonna contact Tel for it, and then we can do a quick demo for you for identity management and identity governance products. The third thing that we have is secure data, or what we do, build privacy by design. This is very, very, for me, I really, really like this product on a personal level. Why? Because what we do is we can do data discovery and analysis for both structured and unstructured data. So imagine databases and data that is not in databases, we can protect both, right? So there's data control and management. And then with that, we can reduce risk, right? And cost of data breach. And then to add to that, we can do secure collaboration and productivity. And as a requirement for many companies, specifically multinational companies, to meet privacy and regulatory compliance. So what product am I talking about? It's called Voltage. What is Voltage? What it does is it secures the data from inception to disposition. Meaning, nag-create ka ng data or nag-load ka ng data hanggang sa i-delete mo yung data, it has what we call the the data protection life cycle. So yung governance and protection of that data is built in. Okay. So what do we do? It's called data de-identification, which is encryption and tokenization. And one of the strongest things that we have for for Voltage, and a lot of you haven't seen this technology, and I encourage you to see this technology in a separate session with me, with VSTCS, is for us to show you how we have this technology called format preserving encryption. Kasi more often than not, when you encrypt data, you're actually adding more data to the data. Diba? Kasi encrypt mo nga eh. When you encrypt, you're adding more data to the data. But what we do, we preserve the format. So kung .docx yan, Word document, it's still .docx. Pero kahit anong click nung tao, hindi niya mabubuksan. Imagine if you can do that, right? It doesn't look encrypted, pero kahit anong click kung sino man yung gusto mag-click, hindi niya makiklik. Bakit? Hindi siya allowed eh. Right? So that's format preserving encryption. And then we have key management and of course, messaging security. And later on, maybe in another session, individual session, if you want to ask it, we'll be doing a session on Voltage just for you to see. Okay. And this one is quite famous in the Philippines right now, and it's quite very saleable here, is what we call this product that allows us to do secure coding. So what we do is fast security testing. So basically, when you have a new application being developed, we can do the security testing for that application while it's being developed. So we find and fix vulnerabilities in the source code, including open source analysis. So kahit open source yung ginagamit, kaya namin siyang i-check for vulnerability. Okay? And it's a developer-friendly process. I've seen this a lot. I've done many sales for this particular product as well. The developers don't need to learn anything new. Hindi talaga. So basically, if you're a developer, just go developing. So yeah, just write the code, right? And the system will be the one, because of machine learning and artificial intelligence, the system will tell the developer, hey, I think this particular line of code is insecure. This particular line is insecure, blah, 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 blah. But the system will not be the one to change it. It's still the option of the developer to change it. Okay? So nandun pa rin yung human intervention. We're not going to change how the developer does it, but we will recommend what the developer has to change in order to make that particular line of code more secure. Okay? Accuracy and depth of coverage. What it does is to make sure it ensures the compliance with a lot of standards for application development. Okay? So what is the product? It's called Fortify. I think many of you, some of you may have heard of it. So what it does is it's under application security. It secures the application, okay, by integrating it seamlessly in the software development lifecycle. Okay. So what it does, we do static application security testing and dynamic application security testing. What is static? Static application testing is when you create client-server applications. Client-server applications. Dynamic application security is when you create mobile applications and web applications. Yun ang ginagamit. So we have multiple products, okay? May have many products that under 45 depending on the requirement. And right now, the most common thing that's being required is dynamic application security testing. Kasi maraming gumagawa ng mobile apps, right? And the good thing about it is we're offering it also as a service, SaaS. So kung ayaw mag-invest on hardware for the testing, then they can use our cloud environment, Micro Focus cloud environment, in order to do the application security via our private cloud. So that's what Fortify does. Okay. So why you can trust us? This is it. Sinabi na kanina ni Sir Mau, we're one of the world's largest enterprise software providers. We have the capability, the experience across different industries. We support the cyber resilience journey of large scale organizations. Just go to our website, just check our the customer list that we have, and you'll be able to see what I'm trying to tell you. We have an enormous partner network, okay, that supports customers across the globe. We have local presence. As I told you, we're roughly around 100 to 150, right? Roughly, nasa ganung range kami rito in the Philippines. Okay? And then we do have a massive investment in research and development. Okay? So let me talk about the market, okay, for you to understand. No? So right now, this is the opportunity. Enterprise digital platforms, cloud security, SaaS, everything as services, hybrid and multi-cloud solution, and acceleration of edge computing. This is what we're looking at. And this is FY20 for us. This is where our products under these opportunities are the ones that are growing. Okay? So these are the outcomes from those customers, right? And that's why we came out for this year. We started out with this idea of cyber resilience. So this is where we are. Application delivery, IT management transformation, security, cyber resilience, and analysis, no? Data analytics. Okay, so let me tell you a short bit about our business support capabilities. Some companies, many vendors are still doing 8x5. By default, our foundational level support is already 24/7. Okay, technical support worldwide. It is unlimited 24/7 technical support, very competitive response times. We have a lot of self-help resources, and of course the software updates. So for severity 1, system down solutions, our response time is 1 hour. So this is standard. Basically, when customers buy our software, right, they already come with foundation level support. So ito yung capabilities namin. And this is not just for partners, but for end users. Okay? So this is how we do it. That's the foundation level. So thank you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them now.